When people talk about the strangest zodiac signs, Capricorn is rarely mentioned. They're not loud like Leo, not eccentric like Aquarius, not dreamy like Pisces. But here's the trap. Capricorn's strangeness isn't obvious. It's hidden behind their seriousness, disguised by their discipline, wrapped in silence. Because while the world chases instant pleasure, Capricorn builds for decades. While most people surrender to chaos, Capricorn quietly holds the line. And while others live for today, Capricorn is already negotiating with the future. So why are Capricorns so strange? Why do they often feel like old souls in a world that refuses to grow up? In this video, we'll explore 5 surprising reasons why Capricorn is one of the strangest signs of the zodiac. By the end, you may not only understand them better, you may even learn why their strangeness is their greatest strength. 1. Serious, yet secretly playful. Everyone thinks of Capricorn as serious. They're hardworking, disciplined, and endlessly responsible. They're the ones who stay late at work, plan the budget, and take on burdens no one else wants. But here's the twist. Behind that stone face is a surprising playfulness. Have you ever seen a Capricorn when they finally relax? Suddenly, the stern mountain goat becomes witty, even silly, as if they've been hiding a secret side all along. Isn't it strange that the most serious sign can also be one of the funniest, once they trust you enough to reveal it? Why would someone carry the weight of the world, and yet still crack the sharpest jokes in private? Because their seriousness is armor. They hide their playfulness to protect themselves. They want to be taken seriously in a world that often dismisses vulnerability. But once you're inside their circle, they'll drop the mask, and the contrast is startling. Isn't it odd how the same person who intimidates you in public can make you laugh until you cry in private? Doesn't that contradiction make Capricorn one of the strangest companions of all? And that mask of discipline hides another paradox, one that shapes their entire destiny. 2. Obsessed with control, but ruled by fear. Capricorn is famous for control. They plan everything: careers, finances, even relationships. They prefer order over chaos, rules over risk. They're the people who already have a 5-year plan when everyone else is still figuring out lunch. But here's the hidden truth. Their need for control is born from fear. Why does someone so strong secretly live with so much anxiety about failure? Why does a sign so respected for stability sometimes feel like they're walking on fragile glass? Because Capricorn knows life is unpredictable. They've seen how quickly things can fall apart. Their control is a defense, a way to hold back the chaos. Isn't it strange that the sign most admired for strength is often the one most haunted by insecurity? Have you noticed how a Capricorn reacts when their carefully built plan collapses? They don't explode, they freeze. The silence says everything. And doesn't that silence feel heavier than any outburst? So here's the paradox. The stronger they appear, the more fragile they may feel inside. Isn't that one of the strangest truths of Capricorn? And yet, from that fear comes their greatest determination. 3. Practical, but secretly spiritual. Capricorn is the realist of the zodiac. They believe in hard work, structure, rules. They trust what they can see and touch. Ask them about dreams, and they'll tell you to get back to work. But here's the paradox. Beneath their practicality hides a deep, quiet spirituality. Why does the sign most known for logic often end up drawn to mysticism, nature, or ancient wisdom? Because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of time. They feel the weight of mortality more than most. And that awareness pushes them to look for something beyond the material. Isn't it strange how the one who laughs at superstition may secretly be the one meditating at sunrise? Have you ever met a Capricorn who works like a machine by day, but quietly lights candles at night? Doesn't it feel like they live in 2 worlds at once? One built on rules, the other on eternity? That's the contradiction. They deny mystery in public, but crave it in private. They're grounded in earth, yet reaching for the stars. And isn't that double life one of the strangest, most fascinating things about them? But their paradoxes don't stop there. Even their ambition hides something few expect. For ambitious, yet deeply self-critical. Capricorn is the climber of the zodiac. They aim high, work hard, and sacrifice endlessly to reach the top. They're admired for their ambition, their persistence, their refusal to quit. But here's what people don't see. Behind that ambition lies relentless self-criticism. Why does the sign most praised for success often feel like they're never good enough? Why do they reach the peak of the mountain and still feel the need to climb higher? Because Capricorn measures themselves against impossible standards. They don't just want success, they want perfection. And perfection is a prison no one can escape. Isn't it strange how the sign everyone else envies may secretly envy themselves, an imaginary version they can never become? Have you ever seen a Capricorn receive praise and brush it off, as if it meant nothing? Doesn't it feel like they carry a mirror that only reflects their flaws? That's their paradox. Ambition fueled by doubt, success shadowed by insecurity. And isn't it heartbreaking and strange that the very qualities that make them great also make them suffer? But there's one more contradiction that makes Capricorn unforgettable. 5. Cold, yet fiercely loyal. Capricorn is often seen as cold, distant, even intimidating. They don't wear their heart on their sleeve. They don't say, "I love you" lightly. To strangers, they may seem unfeeling. But the truth? They're some of the most loyal souls in the zodiac. Why does a sign that looks cold on the surface often turn out to be the warmest when it matters most? Because once Capricorn commits, they commit for life. Isn't it strange that the person who seems least emotional is often the one who shows up at 3 a.m. when you need them? Isn't it odd how the one who looks distant is often the one who never abandons you? Their love is not loud, it's steady, not flashy, but unshakable. Capricorn won't shower you with constant affection, but they'll build a foundation under your feet. And isn't that a deeper kind of love? So yes, they may seem cold, but if you've earned their trust, you'll discover the fire they keep hidden. And that hidden fire is what makes them unforgettable. Conclusion: the healing reframe. So why is Capricorn so strange? Because they're contradictions carved into stone, serious yet playful, controlling yet fearful, practical yet spiritual, ambitious yet insecure, cold yet loyal. They don't fit into easy categories because they were never meant to. Capricorn is the mountain, solid, steady, intimidating from afar, but filled with hidden caves, secret springs, and paths only a few will ever discover. And maybe that's their gift. They remind us that strength is not the absence of fear, it's carrying fear and climbing anyway. They show us that discipline can hide playfulness, that practicality can hold spirituality, that silence can carry love. Isn't it true that the strangest people often leave the deepest lessons? And doesn't it make sense that the sign known for building empires is also the one who quietly builds the most unshakable bonds? So if you have a Capricorn in your life, look closer. Listen beyond the silence. Watch beyond the control. Because behind the contradictions lies a soul that teaches endurance, loyalty, and depth. And maybe that's exactly what makes them unforgettable. Are you a Capricorn? Or do you love one? What's the strangest thing you've noticed about them? Share it in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another secret from Zodiac Whisper.